The veteran Joey Sly set to get us started, and we are underway in our nation's capital. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by Zach Wilson, former second overall pick, now in his third season out of BYU.
And we all know the scouting report on him. He can attack the field at all levels with a very strong arm and make big-time plays off schedule. We also see a player with confidence and swagger. We see a guy who knows how to lead a team, who knows how to compete, and wants to be great every time he hits the field.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll run with Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. 4th down now after a loss of 2. So much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. Leading them out in his 8th season, guy who has started for a few teams across the league, Jacoby Brissett.
Spent the early years of his career bouncing between starter and backup as needed, and played well, but never had a team fully commit to him as their guy. He does retain the toolbox that made him projectable as a starter. Big, strong player with a powerful arm, deceptively mobile and tough to tackle. The best part about his game, leadership and being a great teammate.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw, Brissett. That one downfield for Dotson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that's going to make it 4th down. They're going to try and throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 79 yards. And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
All again on 2nd down. And space tough to come by there, so we get maybe a yard to the 37.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to Lazard. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That's a 43-yard punt, aided as well by a loss on the return. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. Brissett sets to throw it. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. A 50-50 ball in the end, nearly intercepted. And now it's 3rd down. They'll throw again. Brissett slings this deep from McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Brissett. That one downfield for Dotson. Touchdown! Jahan Dotson. 48 yards. And the Commanders are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
And now Washington going to go for 2 here. They'll look to throw. And this will be caught. So the try for 2 good. And it pushes them out to a 15-0 lead. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is. And I don't know how much that particular play factored in. But with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On first and 10. It's Wilson. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number one. 15-0 our score. It's the NFL on EA Sports. Now a second and 10. Here's Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's taken in at the 9.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And it will be Washington football now with a first and 10. And time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed.
Big yardage that time for Washington.
47 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone.
Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington.
A great play there. With his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Commanders are able to add on to their first half lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30.
And New York set to take the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be.
Randall Cobb on the breakaway. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now Wilson.
This pass out wide to Hall. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Crowder now to return. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Brissett. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. It's a pickup of 12 and a Commander's 1st down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing, Brissett. That one is slant to McLaurin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. To throw is Brissett. Throwing it Terry McLaurin's way again, and he's got it. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there's no space available, and incompletion as a result.
3rd and short yardage, Brissett. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. New York's offense back out there and set to go. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a 1st down now, playing behind the sticks.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here pulled in by Lazard. That'll give him 8 that time. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. On 1st and 10, Brissett. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
56 to Mike. 56.
On 2nd down, Brissett again. And incomplete. Great coverage there. He was in the perfect position defensively to make a play on the football, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will extend their lead even further. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Getting through the break at record pace and right back to football. 3rd quarter, here we go. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Well, they found him 8 times in that first half, and this is his first catch of quarter number 3.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Brissett's throw taken in by Samuel. So nothing doing there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Brissett's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 43. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Into the air once more. It's Brissett. Trying to drop one in, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
A second down throw for Brissett. Short throw here to the tight end Bates. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Brissett on 3rd and 2. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Brissett. He'll get it inside the 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
A second down throw for Brissett. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, Brissett. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Curtis Samuel, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Now Wilson on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Now it's Crowder. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do. So I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. Final minute now in the third quarter. Brissett to throw on first. That one tipped and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. And it's second down. Here's Brissett. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. Brissett now. Short throw there, caught by Thomas. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here's Tressway now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps, to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
Brissett. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. This a quick slant, and he's got Terry McLaurin. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Brissett again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. It's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
This was almost what I've heard referred to as a pick 12.
Pick 12, explain.
Well, you're talking about the 6 that they were trying to get.
Because they were so close to the end zone.
And now the 6 going the other direction. So when you take a look at teams on the march, they're in the red zone. Then after the interception, and it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep them from going all the way.
The offense for the Jets ready to take over. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the 2 of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Open man here is Conklin. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
That is caught past the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw, Brissett. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Commanders add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Sly on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Another go-around now for the Jets offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Washington on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Law had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach.
When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive.
What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way.
Brissett on first down. That is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Being chased out. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Wilson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
The extra point by Sly is up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. New York set to take the field. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you've mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy is on the field.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. On first down, Wilson. Eluding the pressure right.
And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Wilson will throw again. Flush to his right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. Here's Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he is going to have a Jets first down as he'll wind up getting the yards they needed on 4th and 3. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll go down as a gain of 6. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
47 the mic, boys. 47. Check, 47. Watch QB go.
One last shot for Wilson. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
The extra point is good, but it only impacts the final score as this game comes to a close. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle.